So much has changed in my yard in just 1 week. You can see so much green now. Last week we talked about the importance of shelter in creating a wildlife-friendly backyard. And of course you want plants, but not any plant will do. You really need native plants. I didn't get a chance to express why native plants were so important. We're gonna go over that this week, and I'm also gonna teach you how to start identifying native plants in your yard and the next steps for incorporating them. What is the deal with native plants? Why are they so important? I want you to imagine that you walk into a grocery store and you see the produce aisle, and it is filled with gorgeous looking fruits and veggies. You go to pick up this delicious looking red apple and put it in your cart, but you realize something's off. It's really lightweight, and when you look at it further, you realize it's made out of plastic. Now, even though this looks like an apple, there's nothing you can do with it nutrition-wise. You can't eat it, right? Well, this is how many plants are to a lot of animals. Even though it looks like a food source, they actually can't access this. Many animals don't just eat anything. Yes, there are species that we call generalists that will eat a lot of different types of food, but there are also specialists that focus only on certain kinds of plants. Think about pandas and bamboo. They only eat bamboo. We have species like that here in the US, but usually there's smaller species like insects that a lot of people overlook. And even if animals do eat other things in your yard, native plants are always best. Native plants provide the host environment for the insects that they eat. When they eat these insects, their young are bigger and better able to survive. Native plants have grown in their local landscape for not just hundreds, but thousands of years. What this means is they are perfectly in tune to the conditions of their local environment. They can deal with the temperature or rainfall extremes. They know how to handle the local environment. Native plants here have evolved deep roots that allow them to persist during dry times. And these roots help prevent erosion. So they're really important for our local ecosystem. Not only do native plants help wildlife, but they're also so much easier for homeowners. They require less water, no fertilizer, and less work. So it's really a win-win situation. And they have also developed relationships with the animals in that environment. When we think about animals, I want you to think about those that are especially small, like insects. Some species of insects are reliant on just a few or even one single species of plant. A classic example of this is the monarch butterfly here in the US. While the adults can forage from different flowers, they lay their eggs on milkweed, and the caterpillars need milkweed leaves to survive. And with pollinators, especially pollinating insects, some of them have evolved really special relationships where that insect is perfectly suited to that plant. Some pollinators can be like a lock and key. They are able to access the nectar and pollen in ways that no other insect can. We're going to talk about pollinators in the future, but for now, let's talk about identifying the native plants in your yard. So what you're going to do this week is investigate your yard even further and look at the plants that you do have. Start identifying if you have native plants. And I'm going to show you how using the Seek and iNaturalist apps. Okay, I found this pretty flower coming up, and we are going to use the Seek app to identify if it is native or not native. What you're going to do is open your Seek app. What you're going to do is hover it over what you are looking at and see what it identifies. So this is telling us it's a crocus. Let's see if we can get it to species level. You might have to move it around. We got a species identification. And then what I'm going to do is take a picture. I got a new species here, hopefully. Now remember, this is just the AI guessing, so we're not 100% sure yet, but let's click on View Species and see what we have. So this is an introduced species. That means it is not a native species. And then what I'm going to do is go back I'm going to post it to iNaturalist. What this is going to do is confirm the identification. I'm going to have experts look at it. In the meantime, I'm going to take some more pictures of the different parts of the plant. You want to get different angles, and then I am going to go to iNaturalist. You'll see my picture is there. Sometimes it doesn't always put in the picture. So I'm gonna edit it and include all of the pictures that I took. And there we go. By contrast, if we look at this leaf, it's saying white oak. If we view the species, you will see it says native there. So that is what we're looking for with native species. You always want to double check it by putting it on iNaturalist and having an expert review it. Us humans are developing the landscape so much. When we do this for houses, we're replacing forests and fields with lawns. And lawns don't have food for many animals. But you can reverse this by incorporating native plants in your yard, or if you have a patio or a balcony, you can put them in containers and still attract animals. If animals don't have any food sources, they won't come to your yard. And because they had food sources through native plants before development, they're now losing them. And that's why so many species are in decline. For next week's video, I'm going to give you some tips for putting native plants in your yard. They are easier than non-native plants, but there's still some tips and tricks that you need to know, and we're going to make a plan to attract the kind of wildlife that you want. This video is part of my Wildlife Biology for Kids Club program. You will get the accompanying downloadable activities. Take them into your backyard, into your neighborhood, and use them to explore nature together. You'll also get access to a community of like-minded individuals to share your findings and get inspired by what others discover. Interact with me, and there will be exclusive content. Check out the description below for the enrollment link. You can enroll at any time. These activities are meant to be fun, easy, and intentional to get you and your child outside, discovering nature, fostering their curiosity, and connecting together. Make sure you subscribe so that you get the notification when the next video is out.